Well, it gives us absolutely great pleasure to welcome Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Indian cricket captain, and now somebody who's come here to Dehradun for the Save Our Tigers campaign that NDTV and ASL are running. I believe, Mahendra, you've driven for all through the night. You got here at like 4 in the morning into Dehradun. So first, thanks so much for this. Why is Saving Our Tigers so important for you?
Well, there are quite a few things, apart from just saying, it's our national animal, plenty of other things, that all involved with the tiger, the ecosystem and everything else. And in a way, what happens, everything is chained. It's like you have a chain in the ecosystem. The same way, you save tigers. Okay, the numbers are really less. All of us know, from 40,000 from at the start of the century. Now we are down to close to 1410, 1411. So what we are seeing is our national animal. It's already an endangered species. And what happens is when you try to save the national animal, you're actually trying to save the environment, because if you have tigers, if the number grows, what you need is a habitat, which means the forest. And with deforestation going everywhere, in a way what you are indirectly doing is, pushing all the people to have forest, which in turn, helps in development of the whole area at the same time. The greener the place, the better it is. And all of us know, what global warming is doing to the whole world. So I think, it's a much broader cause, but the face is the tiger, because, it's not only our national animal, that gives you that sense of pride. I feel it's a very majestic animal. And,
right.
When people talk about India, like when you talk about South Africa, it's lions and the elephants, that everybody talks about. In the same way, when we talk about India, people talk about the tigers.
So you've just made a very important point, because quite often, ever since we started this campaign, I have had a number of people writing in and saying, why are you saving our tiger? Aren't there other issues that are also of importance? But as you just said, it's not just a question of saving our tiger. If we save our tiger, we're also saving our forests, we're saving water supplies. Eventually, we'll end up saving ourselves.
Well, of course, if you have forest, if you have green forest, the water table, that it always goes up, rather than going down. And what happens with deforestation is the water level goes down. And we all know how much importance, drinking water has. And when you have forest, most of the, if you see the rivers, they go through forests. Of course, they go through cities also. But, what happens with the deforestation, what really is happening, the water level is going really down in the rivers as well as the water table. So what we are doing is, by saving the tigers, we're putting effort on not to deforest, and at the same time, development of the overall society, because there are plenty of people. Tourism gets a boost if you have tigers around, because that's one thing that people from outside who come to India see, apart from its heritage. So I think it's a much broader spectrum that we are feeling right now.
Right. And the specific message that we've come here to give the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, there are some specific steps, of course, that he can take.
Well, of course, we had experts, who sat down and came up with at least 7 points, and they said, okay, the Uttarakhand government, they're doing really well. They have taken proactive steps, and which includes, recently they announced the formation of the Special Tigers Protection Force, which means, the parks over here, the tiger parks, they will be protected by these officers. It will take a bit of time for their training, but they'll have special weapons. They'll have special power at the same time.
2 months later, how's married life suiting you?
Well, it's fantastic. There are quite a few changes after the married life. You can't just be yourself. You have someone to take care of you, and at the same time, you have to take care of someone else. Respect the emotions that your partner has got. Just can't, after losing a game, come back to the room and say, okay, I'm not talking because I'm upset. So it helps also at times, and you don't get the same amount of time. That's also a factor, but overall, it's more for the good than anything else. So we are very happy as a married couple.